Now, our next guest has been on the show before. He's a hypnotherapist and counsellor and is here to talk to us about his new book aimed at giving children confidence and self-esteem. Please welcome to the show, John Mill. Thanks for being on the show again, John.
Hello. It's nice to meet you again. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time, hasn't it? A couple of years, I think.
You sound exactly the same.
And so do you. Now, the title of the book is The Modest... I'm going to say Tortoise. A lot of people say Tortoise, but I say Tortoise. The Modest Tortoise and the Horrible Hare. And it's exactly as we said, it's aimed to boost self-belief and confidence in children. Is that correct?
It is. I basically wrote it as a hypnotic metaphor to help a child that I was seeing that was struggling with self-belief and self-worth. And it worked so well that I thought I'd develop it into a book. Because basically I tell stories for a living. I put people into trance and tell them a story of how life could be.
Oh. And do you deal just with children?
No, I do it with adults as well.
You do, yeah. Now, it's great, and I'm assuming that it's a spin on the original, the Tortoise and the Hare fable, is it?
Yeah. Your listeners will probably remember being told the Hare and Tortoise story as a child. And then I started to think of what if I set it in a modern-day school where Hare was the cool kid that had the best trainers and all the children admired him. And Tortoise was all of us at our most vulnerable. You know,
yeah.
I don't know if you know, Selena, but all of us as humans have two primal fears. One is that I'm not enough, and two is that I'm unlovable. And I'm sure your listeners, like me, will know that we still have those fears as adults and worry about them often. So I thought, how great would it be to be able to change that early belief of I'm not enough to maybe I'm capable of amazing things, or I'm unique, or I'm valuable. If they just accept being them.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, crikey, yeah. And is it just a story, or do you ask questions throughout the book?
Well, basically it's a story that firstly follows our friend Tortoise through some life challenges. He's got his wise old nana, who is the voice of wisdom in the book. And then at the back of the book, I've put a series of therapeutic questions that the parent, the grandparent, or the teacher can ask a child to open up a dialogue about the story and how it resonated with them. And the questions are what we call in therapy open questions, so they help the child explore their feelings. And then I've added a bit at the end about how we, as parents, can perhaps encourage and coach our children by telling them all the things that they're good at and praising them for those things, but not criticising them for the things that they're struggling with. So, and even as adults, you know, if we are told that we're good at something, we do more of it. So if your listeners want their partners to do more housework, stop telling them that they don't do enough. And when they do some, you know, praise them for it, and you'll see them starting to do some more. You know?
Basically, the women should treat their husbands like children, yeah? Okay. Just joking. You are right, though, as far as the parents are concerned, because, of course, it's not just the child. It's helping the parents to understand the child, isn't it?
That's right. Because
Yeah.
the child wants to feel significant, you know.
Yes, and the parents want to help if the child's having
right.
a problem, yeah. Now, I know that you're a renowned child counsellor. Did you follow this path because of your own experience?
Yeah, I did. I went through bullying at school. I'm sure many of your listeners have gone through it. I kind of ended up working at Childline in London, telephone counselling children, because I could relate to that. And then that kind of struck a chord in me with what children have to put up with. I remember what I put up with. And so I counsel children now as well at my practice in Surrey. And some of the pages in the book are things that I remember happening to me and things that children have told me have happened to them. And I think for children it's such a shock when you're growing up and someone's unkind to you. You're born and you have this great sense of wonder and life's going to be amazing. And you like yourself, you love looking in the mirror, and you think you're great. And then you go to nursery school and someone takes your toys off you.
Yeah.
What's that about? And then you meet negative adults and you sort of grow up and your belief about yourself just changes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a steep learning curve, isn't it, unfortunately? But one that in normal circumstances will help everybody through life. I mean, I heard something on Sky News, I think it was this morning, saying that some children are too sheltered nowadays. You need to have some of the knocks in life to help you. But I know exactly what you're saying, because the book is actually called The Modest Tortoise and the Horrible Hare, Homework, Bullies and the Secret to School Survival. So do you help these youngsters tackle bullying? Because to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't know what to say to a child. Do you tell them to fight back? Do you tell them to ignore? Do you tell them to speak to an adult? What do you do with a bully?
There's different ways to talk to a child about bullying, because obviously you want them to explore, speak to the school, speak to their teacher, basically to tell someone what's happening to them. There's a bit in the book that I've put that there are good secrets and there are bad secrets, and bad secrets are ones that people want you to keep to yourself, and good secrets are like birthday surprises where everyone will learn about them. And because a lot of children keep this stuff to themselves, as I did. I didn't want my mum going up to school with a rolling pin.
No.
You know.
Make things worse, wouldn't it?
Well, I'd have got bullied more, I think. So the children keep it to themselves, but if they can tell someone, their favourite teacher, or if they can keep a diary of what's been happening, then things can change. But the worst thing is when they don't tell anyone and they withdraw, and then you don't notice, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of parents just notice that there's something wrong but can't quite put the finger on what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think, John, I mean, I remember, although it was a long time ago, being at school, and you've said you remember being bullied as well. Do you think there is a lot more pressure now on the children of nowadays?
Yeah, I do. I think, firstly, there's a pressure that in society we're all comparing ourselves all the time. So you're sort of, it's all about what you own, what you have, or where you've got to in life. And even for me, I think there was a time when all I used to think about was getting money and getting wealth and getting things. And then one day I just looked around at my family and the people I love, my loved one, and I realised that I'm rich beyond my dreams, you know. And I ask your listeners to look at who they have around them, and that is wealth that you don't find in a bank. You know, and plus today, when I got bullied at 3:30, all I had to do was get to the bus stop and it was over. Now children, they're on public media all the time.
Yes,
so they're getting bullied 24 hours a day.
Yes, all this cyberbullying. It's awful. It's absolutely, well, I can only imagine it's awful for them. And children can be so cruel. I think children can be far crueler than adults because they don't seem to realise the consequences of what they're doing, do they?
No, that's right.
Now, in order to help children, is it illustrated like the original book was?
It is. It's illustrated because I think imagery is very powerful. I think if you think of things like religion, there's nothing more powerful than the image of a cross or a country's flag being hoisted in the air. Imagery is very powerful and it creates a feeling. So if you create a feeling with imagery and then you give meaning to that feeling, it will stick with you. So when Tortoise is being treated unfairly in the book, I've made the images go a bit darker, it gets rainy, the sun goes in, and then as he finds his own self-worth, the sun comes back out again, and it's all bright and the colours come back. But it's very lovely illustrated. A couple of guys from Mexico called Volta illustrated it for me. Really lovely illustrations.
Yeah, I think you need that when you're dealing with children. No child wants to just sit and read. They like the pictures as well, don't they? And just one final question, John. We've talked about bullying. What about sibling rivalries? Is that a problem that you can help get dealt with? Yeah,
I think there's been many times that if you think there's a parent that has referred to one child as, say, the intelligent child and their other child is the beautiful child, and the intelligent child wants to be beautiful and the other child wants to be, intelligent. So it's really important to sort of look at how significant you make your children feel. We all have this human need to feel significant, don't we? And if you think of how we have this need all the time, we hope people will like us. You hope the lady that serves you coffee will like you. You hope the people at work will like you. And if you combine making your children feel significant with their other human need, which is love and connection, then you've coupled this together and you'll build a great bond between you and them.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good book. It sounds like it's going to help both children and parents. It's called The Modest Tortoise. I'm going to say Tortoise because I get told off for saying Tortoise. And The Horrible Hare, Homework, Bullies and the Secret to School Survival. It's out now. It came out in February, I believe, John, didn't it?
Yeah, it's just come out really on all sort of different places like Amazon, and it's on Kindle as well, so you can download it and have it literally on your iPad or your iPhone within minutes. So on Kindle it's $3.99, and you can buy it hard copy on Amazon or from my website, which is www.thechildrenscounsellor.com.
thechildrenscounsellor.com. And you've very, very kindly offered us a few signed copies for our competition, so as soon as they arrive we shall start giving them away. We'll make people win them first. We won't just give them away. John Mill, as ever, it's been wonderful to talk to you. Do join us again, and good luck with the book. Thanks for being on the show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.